Monday, our students were given an assignment to compare neighboring countries, which is Malaysia and Brunei. Curious to discover what makes each nation unique, they divide the project into different topics and begin their research. As they shared their findings with one another, they realized that although the two countries share many similarities, each has its own distinct difference. Okay, for our first session, we have Shiva and Aifa. As they work together, they talk about the difference between Malaysia and Brunei. Their first discussion about important aspect of both countries. Let's get into it.
While working on this project, I discovered that Malaysia and Brunei actually have different system of government.
Really? I always thought that they were quite similar since both countries have monarchies.
That's true, but Malaysia practice a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
That means that the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is the king and head of state, while the prime minister leader the government and management the country administration.
Oh, so you mean that Malaysians have to vote in elections to choose their representative?
Exactly, the representative who are elected help from the government.
Oh, that's quite interesting. So on the other hand, in Brunei, it's a little different.
Oh, how so?
So in Brunei, they practices an absolute monarchy where the Sultan is both the head of government and the head of state.
So the Sultan has direct role in governing country?
Yes, the Sultan plays a central role in leadership and national decision making.
It is fascinating how our country have different systems, yet we continue to maintain close diplomatic and cultural ties.
I agree. Even with different approaches in governance, both countries value stability, development and cooperation.
Another interesting difference I found between Malaysia and Brunei is the way we use the Malay language.
Really? I thought Malay was basically the same in both countries.
Well, both countries use Malay as their official language, and we can understand it another quite easily.
So, what are the differences?
The difference are mostly in vocabulary, pronouns, and daily communication.
Oh, would you mind giving me an example?
Sure. In Malaysia, we use orang when referring to people.
But in Brunei, many people pronounce it as orang.
Oh, that is the thing. That sound similar, but the slang is different.
Exactly. Brunei Malay has its own expressions and speaking styles that are commonly used in everyday conversations.
I hear that standard Malaysia is mainly used in school and official setting in Brunei.
That's right. In daily life, many Bruneians prefer using Brunei Malay when talking with family and friends.
In Malaysia, the way we speak in formal and informal situation is generally more similar.
Even though there are differences in pronunciation and vocabulary, both countries still share the same linguistic rule.
I think that's why make it special. We have our own unique identity while still being connected through a common language.
I agree. The similarities help us understand one another, while the differences make our cultures more interesting.
It's amazing how language reflects the history and identity of each country.
And at the same time, it continues to strengthen the bond between Malaysia and Brunei.
I think that's all from us. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, with one topic completed, naturally they move on to another element that shapes identity and culture. This time, they'll talk about things that people use nowadays to communicate and connect.
Hey guys, have you guys wondered about the difference between Malaysia and Brunei?
Actually, I know the neighboring countries, but what makes them different?
Well, let's start with their currency and economy. Malaysians use Malaysian ringgit, meanwhile Brunei use their Brunei dollar.
Oh, interesting. So what about the economies?
Well, Brunei mostly depends on their petroleum and natural gas. This industry contribute a large part to their country income.
So what about Malaysia?
Malaysia has a more diverse economy. Its earning income from tourism, manufacturing, agriculture and many other sectors.
That makes sense. Malaysia also has a much larger population, right?
Exactly. Because Malaysia has more people, the government spend more money on their infrastructure and transportation, such as highway, railways, and public transportation system.
I see. Now let's talk about my favorite topic, food. Malaysian food is very diverse because of the influence of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous cultures. That's why dishes like nasi lemak, roti canai, satay, and char kway teow are so popular.
Exactly. In Brunei, food is mainly influenced by Malay culture. One of the famous dishes is ambuyat, which is considered as one of the Brunei national dish.
So, both countries have delicious food, but Malaysia has more varieties because of its multicultural society.
That's right. Even though Malaysia and Brunei share many similarities, they are unique in their own way.
And that's what makes learning about both countries so interesting.
The project may be finished, but journey to always see different culture and perspective about other countries never really truly ends. Okay, that's all from us, Group 19. Thank you guys for watching. I see you all again. Bye.